Good evening, everybody. I'd like to start out by saying thank you to everybody for being here and sharing the story with Kristen and Allison. I know it means a lot to them, and it's good to see such a good crowd. I know we're going to have a great time tonight. Great crowd in the room here. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris.
What's up?
Not Kevin. I'm very proud to be here as Kristen's best man, and even more so to be his best friend. For those of you who do know me, please don't tell any more stories. I was a little worried about giving this speech, and my old man gave me some great advice. He said the truth always sets you free, Chris, but not in this case. So I know a lot of you are waiting for me to come up here and see you, Kristen, and tell you a bunch of stories from our colorful past. But this is a family event, so I can't go too deep here. So what can I say about a man who comes from humble beginnings, who's risen to the top of his profession based on his intellect, hard work, and dedication? A man who possesses all the skills for success, and whose humble attitude leaves no one with a bad word to say about him. But enough about me, this is about Kristen.
You were chosen well.
Kristen and I have been friends for 10 years now, since the glory days in Port Alberni in high school. We've had the chance to be roommates on a couple of occasions. They were both, how shall we say, interesting experiences. The first was on Pleasant Street in Port Alberni, and the neighbors found us to be anything but pleasant. I have a great story from that time that I can share with you guys. We were coming home one night in a truck, and there was room for the three of us on the bench, and Kristen thought it would be a great idea to ride the box. And right as we pull up to the house, our friend Kevin hits the brakes, and Kristen stands up at exactly the same time. And before I know it, he's sitting in my lap, and he crashed through the back window. So he's bleeding all over the place, and we were way too scared to call John, so we called my mom. My mom drove Kristen to the hospital, and called Pauline, let her know that Kristen's okay when he's in the hospital. When she got there, she remembers distinctly telling Pauline, "It seems like we always meet up with each other in the middle of the night." So the experience in Port Alberni living together was pretty short-lived, only a couple months. But we lived together again in the U.S. when I was going to school and Kristen was working over in Vancouver. And I remember from that, Kristen bought a crossbow when we were there. And I think we tested it out on the apartment building across the street. I think if you drive down Columbia Street in the U.S., there's still an arrow sticking out of the building. I think people with crossbows scare the hell out of people way more than people with guns, because people with crossbows are taking you for meat. There's a lot of stories from that place that I can't share with you right now. If you get me drunk enough later, I'll share a few of them with you. Kristen and I have shared many triumphs, many successes, and many failures. We know each other really well. We can pretty much finish each other's sentences, but I wouldn't have wanted to share it with anybody else. I have to toast our beautiful bride today. When I saw her, honestly, my breath was taken away. You look amazing today, Allison. It is a sad day for the single men in the world, as another fantastic catch has been taken off the market. For single women, however, the day has gone by without a ripple. Allison, you have chosen well. This young man will love you, care for you, and be there for you in good times and bad. And having spent 10 years with Kristen, there will be some bad times. He possesses integrity, dedication, and I have never heard anyone question his intelligence. Actually, come to think of it, I've never heard anyone use the word intelligent person in the same sentence. I have to admit, the day I heard about this marriage, I was absolutely shocked. We were at Ryan and Morris and Velma's house in Chilliwack, and he broke the news to me on New Year's that I was going to be a best man. And this was the first time I met Allison. So I pretty much fell off my chair. Since that time, I've had the chance to spend some time with them though. And
fall off your chair.
Many times. Thanks, Ray. And they're clearly a great match. Allison, you tamed the great beast. I don't know how you've done it. But I must warn you, you have to be careful with this one. The word stubborn doesn't cut it for me. I'd like to thank both families, Kristen's parents, for putting up with us for all these years. And I'd like to thank Allison's parents, Dawn and Susan. For those of you who don't know, we went for a little stag last week, and Dawn lost a driver. Thanks to Danny Clemencic over there. And Dawn, I've done the math. I work at a bank and I've done the math. And you bought it in 1982. So with interest and inflation, Danny owes you $963.27. And Danny, I want my $40 for the hotel room. I'll help you collect on that, Dawn. I'm looking forward to getting to know Allison's family, and one day I'm sure we'll be telling stories of our own. So without further ado, here's to my best friend, a great guy, and his new wife, the new Mr. and Mrs. Arbanas.
Great speech!